If we could do this, we'd never have to eat again. Let's talk about photosynthesis. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're going to be talking about photosynthesis. Now, what exactly is photosynthesis? Well, basically it's the physiological process by which plants use water and carbon dioxide and sunlight to produce food for themselves, and the waste product of that is oxygen. So plants are autotrophic, which means they make their own food, whereas animals are heterotrophic, meaning we have to ingest our food to get energy. Now, if we go back to primordial Earth, when there were really only the first bacteria, some of those bacteria eventually learned how to photosynthesize. And when that happened, a big change happened in Earth's atmosphere because suddenly there was a lot of excess oxygen and it created the ozone layer. So any forms of life, bacteria-wise, that were not accustomed to living in such an oxygen-rich environment died off. And it paved the way for the development of all life that came after. And basically all life on Earth hinges on photosynthesis. It is the single most important metabolic process there is because it produces oxygen for the atmosphere. So photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplasts of a plant cell. We haven't really gotten into like the microbiology of plants yet, but basically within a plant cell, there are these little green guys called chloroplasts. And within the chloroplast, there are stacks of little discs called thylakoids. And it's within these thylakoids that photosynthesis occurs, and it also is responsible for the production of chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is green because it absorbs all the rays, all the spectrum of light except for the color green. That's the one it reflects. So that's why most plants to us are green, because it's reflecting all of that green light. Now, there are other chemical compounds within plants, like we've talked about carotenoids, which are kind of responsible for the yellows and oranges of like autumn leaves. And then we also have anthocyanins, which are responsible for like the reds and the purples. These typically just aren't dominant within the leaves until chlorophyll production is halted when autumn approaches. Now, of course, if you live in a part of the world where there isn't a change in seasons like that, it's really kind of an amazing thing to see such a dramatic shift in life. But yeah. So photosynthesis can really be divided into two stages. There is a light reaction stage and a carbon reaction stage. So during the light reaction stage, solar energy is converted to chemical energy. Now, this chemical energy is stored in these two types of molecules. I really don't want to get into chemistry in this video because chemistry is very complicated at times, and in order to fully understand everything that happens during photosynthesis, you have to have a pretty good working knowledge of organic chemistry. So we're going to glaze over that just a little bit. So the least you need to know is that this energy is stored in the bonds of these two types of molecules. One of them is called ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, and the other one is called NADPH, which is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. So we're just going to leave it at that. So as this occurs, as this light reaction occurs, chlorophyll splits molecules of H2O, which is water, apart. So it keeps the hydrogen, but it expels the oxygen, and that is what is respirated out of plants, and that's what gives us our air, because plants don't use oxygen for photosynthesis. It's just kind of a waste product. So then it kind of moves into the carbon reaction stage, and in the carbon reaction stage, these ATP and NADPH molecules are broken down and converted into glucose through a process called the Calvin cycle. Now, the Calvin cycle has a few exceptions to it because there are certain types of plants that undergo different processes to get their molecules converted into glucose. for example, cacti undergo a little bit of a different process because it's so hot and dry in the desert that they have to kind of work around the fact that they have such a environmental pressure on them. They can't undergo the same kind of process for photosynthesis that a tree in the tropical rainforest would. Again, that's getting in pretty deep into it at that point, but yeah, that is kind of photosynthesis in a nutshell. So that's why the different pieces that we kind of put together when we're taking care of our houseplants, those pieces come together to give our plants life and to in turn give us life. The carbon dioxide that we exhale and the water that we give our plants and the light that we give them, they use all of that for photosynthesis, and we're rewarded with oxygen. So it's just something you can kind of think about next time you bring a plant home and you set it under a grow light or maybe set it in front of a window. You can think about the fact of what's going on as that light is hitting that plant, what you're doing for the plant when you're watering it. You're giving it life. And we have to take other things into account when we're talking about light, making sure that our windows are clean, making sure that the leaves of our plants are dusted so that they can photosynthesize as efficiently as possible. Because photosynthesis is not 100% efficient. There's actually a lot of energy lost in photosynthesis. So the more efficient we can make it for our plants, the more thankful that they're going to be for that. So if you actually want to know the chemical formula for photosynthesis, it is 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O. So that's 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water. When they get converted with light energy to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. And that plus 6O2 is all of the oxygen that the plant does not use, and it expels it through its stomata, which are the little holes in the leaves, the pores. Yeah, so that's that. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. I've been wanting to do a photosynthesis video for a while, but I was kind of waiting to get into the science part of things until we were more ready for it. But I do have at least 2 or 3 more science videos that I want to address because they do relate directly to how we care for our houseplants. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for showing up to my live streams. We're going to have another one real soon. Look out for a video, like a short that I'll release and kind of announce when that's going to be. But we always have so much fun in our live streams. So if you guys have never come to one, please come join us. We have all kinds of discussions. It usually kind of veers away from plants a little bit, but that's okay. And just thank you so much for your support and for your likes and subscribes. We're working on some cool things for the channel coming up, and I just enjoy hanging with you guys so much. So thank you for allowing me into your homes and into your lives, because it means a lot. So until the next video, I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.